I have a Pentair Rainbow Model 320. Water is flowing into the chlorinator, however I do not detect any chlorine in my pool. I cleaned my cartridges and this did not help. Pool is in 4th season, first season kept control on number 1 or number 2, this year cannot keep chlorine in the pool and not sure what is wrong. Thanks.
I can help you. Have you looked into the chlorinator to see if the tabs are dissolving?
Yes, tabs are dissolving.
Have you shocked the pool with 1-XXXXX 10,000 gallons of granular chlorine in addition to the tablets recently?
About 1.5 weeks ago, however I do not usually shock because I have an O3 Ozonator. Low levels of chlorine are required only to prevent algae.
How many gallons are in the pool and what is the temperature of the pool water, approximate? Are you in an extreme heat area? Yes, ozone is great. And in theory shocking may not be necessary as much. Does your test strip have free chlorine and total chlorine or just free? Low chlorine is required to sanitize the pool, 0.5 to 1.0 parts per million. Ozone does not leave a residual amount of ozone in the actual pool water, so it must be supplemented to provide sanitation against bacteria. You should still use an algicide. What is your pH?
14,000 gallons, 86 live in NJ, so summer temps in high 80s and 90s. Had water tested at store and TC and FC were 0.
Well, that's a good sign that you didn't have a total chlorine higher than your free. However, you could have a chlorine demand.
pH 7.2. Alk 100, calcium 250, stabilizer 50.
Good. If algae was trying to occur and your alkalinity is in the correct range, you may show a higher pH before you see the algae. To decide if you have a chlorine demand that needs to be met, I would do the following. Use 2-XXXXX calcium hypochlorite, 65% to 73% shock product usually found at pool stores. Do not use any light shock products if you can help it, into pool. Take a chlorine reading in 2 hours. If a high reading, above 5 parts per million, then good, you may only need to open chlorinator more to compensate for the high heat of late. However, if you do a double shock and the chlorine level is still 0, then you have a chlorine demand situation. If you have a BioGuard store near you, they may have a demand test available, which usually takes a few hours. This test would determine the exact amount of chlorine needed to meet the demand of the water. I am in NC at the coast and we have this happen often.
High bought Instachlor with 73% calcium hypochlorite. 1-XXXXX 15,000 gallons. I will add and test in 2 hours. When I added 1.5 weeks ago, chlorine level was 8 parts per million.
If the pool wants, for an example, 6-XXXXX chlorine and you add 5-XXXXX would still register 0. Non-chlorine shock would not accomplish this need for a demand situation. However, using non-chlorine shock is great for any combined chlorine reading you may get, where total chlorine reading is higher than the free reading. Great stuff. Did you have this problem 1.5 weeks ago with the chlorinator?
Yes, actually had a tough time last year maintaining chlorine levels. Just giving it more attention now. Seems first year control was on 1 or 2. Saw online about back pressure with dirty filters may prevent pulling of water from chlorinator into return line to pool. Is this true?
Yes, anytime your filter is dirty then your flow is decreased and the chlorinator does not have as much draw. I would start high on your chlorinator, establish a chlorine reading and then back it down. Put the shock in so there aren't any problems with pool in this heat. Better to have too much than not enough.
I put one 3 inches tab in my skimmer basket and turned the chlorinator to 5, highest setting. I need to step out until tonight. Will check chlorine level when I get home then shock if level is still low. Can I respond back tomorrow?
Absolutely. I will be around till 1 p.m.
I tested water and chlorine level is about 5 parts per million without shocking. I turned the chlorinator down to 3 and will continue to monitor as I would like to maintain 1 part per million. Just seems it has been difficult to maintain 1 part per million the last 2 years. But glad chlorine level increase itself. Thanks for your help. We'll go online now to accept your answer.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.